Everyone has an opinion. They will tell you what to do, what to believe in, who you're supposed to be.
So this is part 2 of my last video. I gave notice at my job today. I had intended on doing this whole long video and kind of talking about giving notice and what was going to come next. And literally I walked out the door and I walked down to the bridge where I filmed that video, and I just felt like crying. Like the minute I walked out the door, I was like, oh, I didn't know, like you don't know how you're going to feel until you do something. So I was really expecting there to be potentially some fear, obviously, or some, excitement, like starting on a new adventure, yay. But no, what I felt like was I just wanted to cry. And so I went down to the bridge and I filmed that video because that was the plan, and I'm going to follow through with the plan. And then I got in my car and I drove home and I cried in the car. And once I got home, like I just was exhausted and I just wanted to go to bed. And that's when I realized that what I was actually feeling was like, oh, it was relief. Like, it's over. Like, I don't have to do that anymore. I mean, after, my 2-week notice period, but I don't have to go back to that place anymore. I don't have to do the pretending and the faking, because honestly, I feel like I've been faking that whole corporate existence for way too long. And like, I don't have to fake it anymore. I feel like I've been hiding myself. I mean, not from everybody, like the people who know me the best know, but like, everybody else, kind of hiding it and faking it, and it's over. So I felt relief. But it's been a couple of weeks. Yesterday was actually my last day, and that's, I am excited. Yeah, that 2-week period was kind of rough. Like I had one foot still in that world. Like I still had things I had to do. I still had to preform. But then I had one foot like out the door, like knowing that something else was coming and like wanting to get started on it. I had a couple of freak out moments where I'm like, I really just need to get started. Like this thing needs to happen. But yeah, now we're on the other side of that. And now I'm ready to tell you that I didn't leap without a plan. I have a solid game plan as to where I'm going next. So this is absolutely a leap of faith, like, making some big changes, but I have been working on this for 8 years. In 2018, I got certified as a life coach. I didn't know what kind of life coach I wanted to be, just that I wanted to help women. I had no idea how I was going to do that. And then obviously I graduated in 2019, and I still didn't know. Like I had kind of gone into it hoping that I would have an idea of what kind of life coach I was going to be, like what I was going to do. And, at the end, I still didn't. And then COVID hit in early 2020, but I was still trying to build my coaching business. But I had nothing to say. I couldn't sit in front of this camera and tell you anything because I had nothing. It was just a blank canvas. So I decided to just sit and see what the universe brought me. And I got an ad on Facebook that was like, learn astrology. And I was like, oh, well, that's a hell yes. Because like I used to read astrology books, like novels back, middle school, high school. But then real life caught up, got a corporate job and had kids and the family and all that stuff and didn't really have time for it. So that kind of went out the window. But now I've got time. And so I am going to learn astrology for the next 9 months. And I am going to use astrology to help women. Very quickly learned that you don't learn astrology in 9 months. You don't learn astrology in 9 years. It's a lifelong learning process, and there's always something else to learn. And you can watch the sky, and it kind of shows up a little bit differently every time because there's always a different configuration, so different things to learn. But I started, you know, with nothing else to do. I mean, I still had my day job. We were working from home, but that gave me a lot of extra free time. And you can't hang out with your friends. So like literally, I just studied astrology. And when we all went back, I was really disappointed. I was like, I'm not ready for lockdowns to be done because I still have more things to study. And so I kind of kept myself in isolation. As a matter of fact, I've been in hermit mode since 2020. This is going to be the year that I come out of hermit mode. I don't know how to be a friend anymore. I don't know how to hold a conversation unless we're talking about astrology. And I do apologize to all my friends for that, but probably not going to change anytime soon. I'm a life coach. I help women using astrology and navigating life. My focus is women in midlife going through transition, whether that's divorce, career change, empty nest, or just whatever is happening. I like to say it's women of a certain age because as, women, once you're out of high school, life takes different paths for all of us, and you get to certain destinations at different times. I was done raising kids because I had them early. I was done raising kids in my early 40s. I have friends who are still in their 50s and they have elementary school kids. Life takes us in different paths, so it's of a certain age, whatever that time you get there. I offer astrology readings. I have coaching sessions. I have one on my website now. It's Uncharted, and it's where we do a deep dive into your chart and really figure out what your current is. The whole metaphor is, we spend our lives following the wind because the wind is what people tell us to do, but we all have a current that we're actually meant to follow. And so, it's built into your birth chart. And so we learn what your current is, and that's what we follow. And so here I am following my current. It's interesting that for the past couple of years, I went through, in my last video, I talked about Mars being in Taurus and having a Mars return. When I gave my notice, Uranus just moved out of Taurus, and Uranus went over my Mars 3 times. And every time it did, I was like, this is going to be the time that I get laid off. And I didn't get laid off, and I didn't get laid off. And so this weekend, July 4th, is the Mars-Uranus conjunction. So this is the 4th one that I've went through. Uranus going back and forth over my natal Mars, and now the transit in the sky. And I just took matters into my own hands and said, I'm done, I quit. So I do readings, as I said, I do the life coaching, and I have created the Astrolabe series. It's a series of ritual workbooks for your rising sign. And sorry, there's fireworks going off. A little distracting. Anyways, so workbooks for your rising sign. There's 12 of them, one for each rising sign, and it takes you through all 12 houses. It's house and sign, and kind of how the sign on that house colors your life a little differently than somebody else who has a different sign on that house. And then obviously we can do a reading to talk about where the planets get layered into that as well. I also have a coaching group that it's called the Cosmic House, and it goes along with the workbooks where it's a lot of deep, as Scorpios like shadow work, it's a lot of deep shadow work with the workbook. And so I created a space so you don't have to do it alone. You can join the Cosmic House and meet up with other people who have the rising sign is you, and, kind of work through some of that stuff together, or share what you're learning about yourself and see what other people are doing, or just, ask questions. So you don't have to do the work alone. So that's the full what I've done, how I've done it. And that is the plan now that I've quit the day job. So if you are interested, like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button and like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.